Welcome back, everybody! It's no excuse for shouting. Sorry, I'm right down here. Exactly where I normally am, except we moved the camera up to try something new. Something new? I object. Me too. All right, come on down then. Whoa. Whoa. Hey, it's like these trailers at the start of the new season when you go. CBS cares. My next guest is a best-selling novelist. He's a good friend of the show. He's actually just got back from Haiti, helping out down there. He's got stories and pictures on his website if you want to check that out. Please welcome Mitch Albom, everybody. Mitch Albom. How are you, pal?
I'm doing all right.
You doing okay?
I'm doing okay.
You must be a little tired. Did you just get back from Haiti?
I got back from Haiti.
How was it? How bad is it?
Well, you don't complain about anything once you get back from Haiti,
sure.
tired or otherwise. I went down and stayed at an orphanage that had a Detroit connection, which is where I live.
Right.
And there are 70 kids there in a place where basically they eat twice a day. Ramen noodles for breakfast, rice and beans for dinner. There's no electricity. They read their books and study by flashlight at night. They all sleep outside.
This
the
is
whole
since
country,
the earthquake, the
no
building's
one
gone?
Goes inside. They're too superstitious. In fact, I slept on the floor inside a little kitchen area.
People will not go inside?
Will not go inside. The kids all sleep outside every night and on the ground.
What's the?
Because
is it
they're
cold?
afraid.
Is it?
No, it's very hot, and it's going to start raining there soon, which is why it's going to be a problem. My worry is that, you know, for a month everybody pays attention to a natural disaster,
right? Of course.
And everybody does, you know, charity things, and it's all great. But then our attention span runs out, and we tend to move on. And I believe it's going to get worse, not better.
Well, you brought a couple of photos in, right?
Yeah.
What is this? This
is what they're sleeping in, right in the grounds of. That's what constitutes a bedroom now, right in the grounds of the orphanage. 5 or 6 kids will sleep underneath that.
Terrible.
This was a shopping center that used to be 3 stories tall.
Yeah.
It's now 1 because you see the way it is, and there are. I don't mean to gross anybody out, but the stench of bodies that are still in that building was so overwhelming that most of the people had their shirts up over their noses because they just couldn't handle it.
It's really grisly, my lord. Yeah. Now, what's the connection with Detroit and this orphanage then?
Well, there was a pastor in Detroit who went down there and started this 30 years ago, and sent down a Detroit school teacher, a missionary basically, and she taught in English. And so all the kids there speak beautiful English. You go, all of a sudden you're inside this little enclave, and they're all speaking, you know, like the Queen's English. It's, where'd you learn how to speak this? Well, we had this one teacher they call Mommy, you know, and she was there for 30 years. And they talk about Detroit, and they even play basketball. There was a rim. It's amazing, no matter where you go, sports somehow, you know.
Yeah,
there was a busted rim hanging down on a backboard. The driveway was full of holes from the earthquake, but let's play a little basketball. And so we played, of course, at my age. Basketball, the whole goal is just don't hurt yourself. You know, don't rip anything, please. You know, so we're
don't
playing.
Bend over and pick the ball up. Just let it roll
anything
away
like that.
Quietly.
So these kids are shooting. You know, they're 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and we're from America. You know, we're supposed to, you know, be able to play basketball, but we're
Mitch. Everybody loves you, but no one expects you to be able to play basketball.
Not even in Haiti.
Not even in Haiti.
So what was funny when you know, of course they killed us. You know, they beat us 100-0, and we congratulated them. And when we were leaving, you know, the kids are so sweet, and they don't have anything. And they say, "Are you going to come back? Will you come back?" And we say, "Yeah, we're going to come back." And one of them goes, "Bring some real ball players next time." Like, I got to go to Haiti to get trash talked.
Yeah.
You know? Come on.
Now, what is the infrastructure of the country returning? Have they actually got water and power? And
no, there was no electricity when I was there.
Anywhere at all?
Anywhere. And they say, the president down there says it's going to take 3 years just to clear the rubble. I've never seen a whole country outside like this was. I mean, I've been to some disaster areas. I was in Katrina and Honduras and things like that. I've never seen anything like this where everybody is literally just outside walking the streets, living in the streets, living underneath tents. No one goes inside a building because most of the buildings are rubble. Every street is just what you showed in some of those pictures, just endless rubble, just getting cranes in to get all that stuff out is going to take a long time.
Who's down there apart from the U.S. relief is down there? Who else is there?
Well, the Red Cross is there. The UN is there in some capacity. But honestly, and I'm not disparaging anybody, but I didn't see all that $1 billion worth of aid getting out to the people. All I heard from people was, where's the food? Where's the water? Do you have anything? Can you help us? You know, one guy came up to me and said, thank you for helping me. You know, he didn't even, because he wanted me to help him, and he was projecting. And there are signs on doors saying, help us, we need food. So I don't know. I'm not a government official, but I think there's a lot of red tape going on down there.
And are you going to go down there and you know...
Well, I got to go redeem my name in basketball.
Well, the basketball thing you've got to take care of.
I'm not going to let that sit there.
And also but overseeing the construction and stuff like that. You're going to do that?
Yeah, we're going to bring down some people from Detroit who are good. You know, we got people who are good with their hands in Detroit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And we're going to build it. You know, we're going to just build some showers and beds, just make it decent. Hopefully they'll get back inside again, you know.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but you know, I just felt, I don't know, in some way sort of compelled to just go do something. It's nearby, and I could, and so we went.
Nearby to Detroit?
Well, you know, this side of the world, this is the Western Hemisphere. But you were seeing it on the television, and I just, look, I'm a storyteller, and I knew if I went down there and if I came back and told some stories about it, I wrote them in the newspaper, whatever, maybe it would move people. I think that's the obligation you have. And this particular mission, and may not be my faith, but, you know, I meant what I said when I was here last time with Have a Little Faith, the book I wrote. It doesn't have to be your own to help somebody. And I don't think when you have a rope and someone's in trouble, you go, are they exactly like me, or should I throw it to
really.
You just help out.
There's a little bit too much of that sometimes.
Yeah, I think people look at Haiti and say, well, that's not us, and they're not my skin color, or they don't speak my language. Well, they're kids. Especially these kids are kids. They're 6 months old to 17, 18 years old. While we were there, I saw a woman who had like 2 or 3 kids living out in one of these tents, and this pastor was with me. We got out of the car. He was wearing a suit, so it was pretty obvious he was. And within 5 minutes, this woman came up and tried to give him her children. And so, would you take care of my children? Just wear. I said, how did she know that you were, you know, a pastor? She said, well, I'm wearing a suit. And she was ready to turn over her children and just take them, give them some kind of life. I can't feed them. No, he didn't, and he shouldn't. But I mean, that's the kind of conditions that you see there on a every minute basis. And so I don't know. It just seems.
What is the predominant faith in Haiti? Is it Catholicism?
It's Christianity, Catholicism, and then there's about 20% or so about voodoo. Still doing voodoo.
You say?
Yeah. And it's a very superstitious country. And
I don't know much about voodoo. I mean, I've seen some James Bond movies and stuff, but I don't actually know what they do.
You know, I asked about it while I was down there. I didn't want to run into a doll of me that had some pins stuck in it. You know,
not being able to play basketball.
Apparently they already did that before I started, because my arm was.
Is that a real thing? Do they make little dolls?
They make little dolls. They have pins, and there's a lot of people operating under some very, I don't know, let's say, I don't want to say backwards, but it's a little superstitious.
Unusual belief systems.
Yes, and it's fearful, and it's a place where a rumor can spread kind of quickly. And so I think the more...
Had you any contact with the country before the disaster? So you can't really do a before and after kind of...
No, but I'm told by people that it was the poorest country in the West to begin with. It's not like, wow, if you had been there 2 weeks ago, boy, it looked just like New York City. It didn't. It was always bad, and there were always people suffering. But now... I mean, when you don't have basic services and you don't have water, and you know, people are just out on the street barefoot, I think it's worse than obviously than it was before, and it just needs a little help. And I'm not trying to solicit money or anything. You're being kind enough just to give me a chance to even talk about it. I know next time I come back, I promise I'll have a million funny stories and we'll talk our normal stuff.
I wouldn't recognize you if you had a million funny stories. I got to do this. It's my job. I hope you don't take it personally. I just kind of.
700,000 funny stories. A couple of funny stories.
No. You know what? It's a TV show. We do one every weeknight, and I think there's a lot of people who watch this show I feel connected to in some way, and I think they give a crap. Mitch Albom, everybody. We'll be right back.
Well, you play a soccer now. Do you know how to throw this?